Wanda Jackson never wanted this.
Pissed off. I'm gonna just say pissed off.
Last September, the retired public school teacher was tossed out of her home with little warning and with just the bare necessities, moved to a Spartan apartment a few miles away.
We gotta be putting our mamas and our papas up on game. What's good, y'all? Welcome to Pretty Realist Podcast. It's the Film C, that's me, Shannon Nicole. And let's get into this video. So listen, we know that with inflation, that 9 times out of 10, we gonna get some scamming going on. I mean, in our adult life, I'm sure just like me, most of us have been scammed once or twice in our lifetime. Some of y'all probably have scammed. I'm not here to judge, but all I'm saying, scamming is definitely at an all-time high. I'm talking about everything from tax scams to people getting scammed with cash apps. I actually saw a video a couple of days ago where a lady was literally scamming people who are trying to get apartments through cash apps.
A former leasing office worker at a Hickory Hill apartment complex is facing charges tonight after police say she scammed some tenants out of their rent money.
Nakima Cook says Norris scammed her too, not out of rent money, but a tax refund back in 2018.
Girl, I still want my money.
I actually had the opportunity of checking out a movie that was a little bit triggering, and I'm gonna tell you why. I have an Amazon Prime account. I'm sure most of you all do as well. I wasn't aware that someone had access to my account. This person was literally like renting movies on my Prime account. I don't know who it was. It wasn't my sister. It wasn't my boyfriend. It was just random movies that I would have never ordered on my own. I'll go and check and see, well, was it a subscription that I may have forgotten? And come to find out, someone had actually purchased a movie on my Prime account without my consent. And this movie was $19.99. First of all, who's really actually going to rent a movie from Prime for $19.99? That ain't gonna be me. That's too rich for my blood when it comes to watching something on a Amazon app that I'm already paying for. Name of the movie was called Beekeeper. It didn't really look like something that I would even really want to watch because I usually, I like my psycho thrillers and stuff like that. My Tubi movies. Don't judge me. I do like Tubi. But the crazy thing is that once I actually watched the movie, which we watched it today, and it was a really good movie, and this movie hits home with what we're going to talk about today. What's his name? Jason Statham? I can't even say his name right. It was a lady who had got scammed and lost all of her money, all of her savings, her retirement, everything that she had, including a fund that she set aside for children that she was helping through a charity. It was actually Claire Huxtable. She was in the movie. The lady couldn't even understand what she did wrong. She got scammed because someone said she had a virus. That's the plot. I'm not going to give you the whole movie. You need to see it for yourself. This man went after the people who did this to her sorry ass daughter. I was cussing the daughter out throughout the movie. Sorry daughter didn't do enough in my opinion, but he definitely made be known that he didn't like what they were doing to these seniors because it was mostly seniors who were the victims. It was mind-blowing to see how much it really came together with what the topic is today. The topic today is all about elders being scammed because I think that is definitely something that we as the millennials, as Gen X, as Gen Z, we have to understand that our grandparents, our great aunts, great uncles, they're getting older. And a lot of them may not be as, tech savvy as you and I are. We have to be more knowledgeable about the scams that are out there that our senior citizens are currently going through right now. And I came across this story because it was so mind-blowing and unbelievable to me that somebody would even do this to someone who has absolutely no idea about the paperwork and the contract when it comes to dealing with real estate. So this lady was getting work done on her house, and apparently she was unable to pay a person who was actually doing the work, ended up signing some paperwork, and once she signed this paperwork, y'all, it changed her life forever. I'll check this video out and I'll come right back with my commentary.
The house she's lived in since 1977, even though she never put her house up for sale, and it could have happened to any senior citizen.
ABC 13's Maya Shea tracked down the people and the paperwork in what turned out to be a winding series of questionable real estate transactions. In the end, it left a retired teacher without a home.
Wanda Jackson never wanted this.
Pissed off. I'm gonna just say pissed off.
Last September, the retired public school teacher was tossed out of her home with little warning and with just the bare necessities, moved to a Spartan apartment a few miles away.
Different, huh?
How did she get here? Wanda says a few years ago, her aging home needed repairs.
The air conditioning and the heating units were out.
A church friend recommended a man by the name of Malcolm Pryor, who promised to fix her house. It was during the COVID-19 pandemic, and Wanda was seriously ill.
I don't remember signing anything with him.
What she doesn't remember, property records can show. On August 12, 2022, Pryor alleged that Wanda didn't pay for all the repairs and filed a mechanics lien on her house through his company, SDP Development. And just 1 month later, Wanda signed the deed of her house over to another company he controlled, South Victory Group. So you signed your house away to him?
Mm-hmm.
Did you realize it at the time?
So the document signed by Wanda was put in place by the subcontractor in the event that the payment wasn't received. Now, by law, a notice must be given to the homeowner within 20 or 30 days of when the payment is due. And the homeowner and contractor, they do have an option of working things out within 2 to 6 months. But he went ahead and just had her sign it over and took the home instead. See what I'm saying? Wanda just signing papers. She don't even know what the papers is saying. She don't know what the papers is talking about. She don't got nobody around her who could have possibly looked these papers over, at least been knowledgeable and understanding of what it is that was in this document. She just signed the papers. She wasn't sure. She didn't know. And look what happened. We got to be putting our mamas and our papas up on game, because what's messed up about this is that her homie from church didn't even put her up on game. Now, I'm not sure if he probably felt some type of way because she hadn't paid him. But at the end of the day, that's the conversation that y'all could have had. You ain't have to do all of this. Make sure you all like, share, comment, and subscribe if you made it this far.
At the time, no, because I was going through therapy, trying to get over the COVID, trying to learn how to walk again.
It gets worse. On September 14th, just 2 days after Wanda signed over her house to Pryor, he sold it to James Meyer, a local investor, for $50,000. 5 months later, in February of 2023, Pryor's company buys back the house from Meyer for $262,500. Except this time, he took out a loan from Noble Mortgage, a local financer of real estate deals, to pay for it. Records show Pryor never made a payment, and within 2 months, in April, Noble foreclosed.
That right there shows you that he was not a good businessman. Like, make it make sense. You sold the house for $50,000, and then you bought it back for 200,000 racks. Like, how does that even make sense? If you didn't want the house, and if you was gonna do all of this, then why would you even just put this lady through this? Like, they gotta stuff all that. It's always just so just tasteless when I see how people's clothes and their belongings be all outside once they get put out. In an apartment, that's something that you see that's common. But in someone who's been living in a house most of their lives, to have all of their items, all of their belongings, all of their memories just put out, like, you got to be a heartless individual to even be a part of making that happen for this lady. Just saying.
Closed on the house Wanda Jackson has lived in since 1977.
It looks funny. It's unusual and it looks suspicious.
We asked local real estate expert Bill Baldwin to review the property records for Wanda's home. He says in his decades in the business, he's never seen such a fast timeline of signing a house over, multiple sales back and forth, then a foreclosure.
Typically 18 months to 2 years. It's unprecedented in my career that I know of anyone that's been foreclosed on within 6 to 8 weeks of their ownership.
By the time Wanda found out, it was too late. She didn't have the money nor the understanding to fight the foreclosure process. Now the home's
like, how are you conducting business? So it's just really messy. And that's what I'm saying. It really just sounds like he possibly has done this before, and he targets older people. So that's something that I'm telling you all, y'all got to look out for, because it's happening more than you could even imagine. This is one way that they're scamming senior citizens. This is only one way. There's multiple ways that they're going about it. You have situations where people are literally losing millions of dollars from romance scams. And this is when people get on these dating apps and they meet these people, or they may be on Facebook and they meet people who inbox them and love bomb them, and they build up relationships with these people because, you know, they're senior citizens, they're lonely. So they build up relationships with these people, and before you know it, they're sending them money for whatever it is that they need just because they feel as if this person is loyal to them. So we have to be on top of putting them up on game and letting them know that these people are not good people. These are not someone you want to be sending your money to, giving them your account numbers. Be careful with your mail, because now we got people out there stealing mail. It's just a lot going on right now, y'all. Got to make sure that we continuously love on our senior citizens, our elders. I wish my grandma was still here. I wish I could hold her and I could talk to her, because I'm telling you, if this would have happened to like my grandmama, my auntie, I would be like Jason Statham on somebody's ass. I mean that.
Now, the home's latest owner clearly making major renovations. The Houston Police Department's Financial Crimes Unit say they see situations exactly like this, especially among the elderly.
And because they know they may be living alone, there's maybe not a family member around, and they'll take advantage of them.
We went looking for Malcolm Pryor at his well-appointed home in Rocheron. Nobody came to the door and nobody answered our calls. We had better luck finding James Meyer.
Y'all, please go visit them if you can, if you got time. I don't live in the same city as my great aunt, but if you live in the same city as your grandparents, as your great aunties and uncles, visit them every once in a while. See if they need help. Call and check on them. I guarantee you, you never know, you might make their day.
The man who bought Wanda's house from Pryor and sold it back to him. So I have a question about
the camera.
With the cameras off, Meyer told us he's just a real estate investor who helped Malcolm Pryor facilitate a deal. He had no idea that Wanda was tossed out of her home. Noble Mortgage's lawyer told us that the deal, in retrospect, raised eyebrows, but they didn't realize it at the time. None of which helps Wanda.
You just don't walk around and go and take people's property just because you can.
As of today, Houston police is investigating the case, but it could take more than a year. Meanwhile, Wanda is still stuck in that apartment, wondering if she'll ever get to go home again.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I loved what he said in that movie is, it's wrong to take from a child, but it's even worse to take from a senior citizen, because a child is going to have parents that's going to step in, be able to defend them. A lot of our elders, they don't have anybody. The system doesn't really move at rapid speed in order to make sure that it gets handled. See, it's going to take this lady at least a year to even get answers on whether or not she'll be able to move into her home. And who's to say if she's even going to make it a year? We know that they're out here scamming. We have to make sure that we take care of our elders, and we got to make sure that we take care of ourselves as well. Make sure that you're not giving your information out to anybody. Be careful with the information you're putting online. Let me know if y'all have been a part of any scams. Have you all dealt with anything? What did you do about it? Like, I want to know. I want to hear your story. Go ahead and comment on the page. Follow me on TikTok at Pretty Realist. I want you all to be safe, and I want your grandmas and grandpas to be safe as well. So I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. We'll see you all on the next video. Don't shoot the messenger. Only receive the message. If it's for you, receive it. If it's not, leave it. Peace.